We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good for you.
Welcome to Storytime Cooks as we learn about food through books. Today we're reading a really fun story, Skelly's Halloween. This book is by David Martin, illustrated by Lori Richmond, and is published by Henry Holt and Company. October is the month for Halloween, and this is a fun story about a little skeleton. And skeletons are actually our bones. We can't see skeletons inside our skin or inside our body, but during Halloween time, we often see skeletons that are just a good way for us to think about all of the bones that hold up our body. Snap my fingers and rattle my bones. It's Halloween, said Skelly Bones Skeleton. And he danced around the room singing, heads, shoulders, knees, toes, trick-or-treating, here we goes. So that's a fun thing. If we need to get some movement in, we could actually do our heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. But Skelly had been sleeping all year long because that's what skeletons do when it's not Halloween. So he had to think fast and make a costume. I don't want to be a witch again. I kept falling off my broomstick. And when I was a monster, I was so scary, I had to hide from myself. And then I didn't get any candy. I know, I will be a ghost. He grabbed a sheet off his bed, and as fast as his bony fingers could cut and sew, Skelly made a ghost costume. There he is. Hot diggity, I am one beautiful ghost. But guess what? When Skelly stepped outside, the wind swept up into the air and flew him like a kite. He twirled and he flipped and he spun. And oh no, when the wind stopped and Skelly fell down, down, down. Poor Skelly. Crash. Luckily, when Skelly hit the ground, he didn't break any bones. But he sure was in pieces. Legs and ribs and arms and fingers and toes and all the bones in between were scattered here, there, and everywhere. Oh my, how am I going to get put back together in time to go trick-or-treating, said Skelly. He's a mess, isn't he? Look at all his bones. They're just everywhere. Just then, a snake slithered by. Snake, I am so glad to see you, said Skelly. I need help. Can you give me a hand? A hand? That's a joke. Yes, said Snake, because snakes don't have hands. I can help, and bone by bone, he attached this bone to that bone, and that bone to this bone. Wonder what he's going to look like. When Snake was done, Skelly looked at himself all the way down to the tip of his tail. Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to have a tail. Thank you, Snake, but this isn't me. Sorry, Skelly, said Snake. And Snake is actually carrying his trick-or-treat pail on the end of his tail because he didn't have any hands. But Skelly wasn't supposed to look like a snake. We will fix you, said an ant. And like a construction team, the whole ant colony got to work. Ants are very strong, and they were able to move his bones around. Thanks, said Skelly, but I can't walk with 6 legs. I keep tripping. I'm a 2-legged skeleton. So the ants made Skelly look like an ant skeleton. We don't understand how we walk with so many legs either, said the ants. Skelly's not looking very happy. I've got 2 legs. Let me help, said the chicken. Oh, brother, now I look like I'm supposed to lay an egg, said Skelly, who was so upset. The chicken put him back together to look like a chicken skeleton. He collapsed into a pile of bones. I'm like Humpty Dumpty, he said, No one can put me together again. No more running, no more dancing, no more trick-or-treating. Oh no. Just then some children found Scully. Look, whispered the chef. Bones, real bones. Let's get out of here. Wait, said Scully. And they talk. Run, shouted the pirate. So one of the trick-or-treaters was dressed as a chef, one was dressed as a pirate, and one was dressed as a skeleton. Please don't go, please, I need help, said Scully. I'm not just a pile of bones. I'm a walking, talking, trick-or-treating Halloween skeleton. What happened? Asked the pirate. It's a long story. Can you help put me back together the right way? That's easy. We'll make you look just like me. I'm a walking, talking, trick-or-treating skeleton too, said the girl dressed like a skeleton. There she is. So they used her skeleton to help put Scully back together again. Soon Scully was Skelly again. Click my heels and rattle my bones, he said. I feel like my old self. I can run, I can jump, and you can go trick-or-treating, said the chef. I can indeed. I know the best places, said Skelly. Come on, everyone, it's Halloween, and you know what I always say. Sure, they shouted. Trick or treat, smell our feet, give us something good to eat. Exactly, said Scully. Let's go. Well, today we're making some little skeletons. So these skeletons were easy to make. We took Rice Krispie treats and cut them with a cookie cutter in the shape of a little man. You could actually make a skeleton of any creature. So if you had cookie cutters that were animals, you could use those as well. And then we just took some white icing to make our bones. But this is a fun way to think about skeletons and Halloween and all the fun things that go along with this season. Our Rice Krispie treats actually would come in our grain group because they're made with cereal. We hope that you have a fun day and that you will come back and join us next week for another segment of Storytime Cooks where we learn about food through books.
We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these